I wanted so much to know about me. What I also realised is that this process that I've started is a continuous one. It doesn't just stop. It started to make me look at my life in a totally different way, and to realise that I'm an extremely talented person. I've got talents in all sorts of different spheres, and it's quite incredible to actually realise that, that I'm somebody worthwhile. I've gained really good self-esteem and self-worth, and I no longer kind of hide my light under a bushel, and it's good, and it's just so positive, so liberating. It's not true, and it was through that at times from a guy who at school who was told that he couldn't write by his teacher, and that the best thing I could do is to leave school at 14 because I would never amount to nothing, to being able to put pen to paper and produce a play that was critically received by a bunch of thespians is absolutely amazing, So no longer do I look behind me to see if they're applauding the guy behind me, in a situation like that. I'm able to take that credit, and the accolades that come with it, and it's marvellous. Because, when I went to counselling at first, I wanted to find out what was at the root of my depression, because that is really important, that we both trust each other. And once that trust was established, I just walked into a session and went, no, like that, and that was it. And so that memories of events that occurred 51 years ago are going to be consigned to the bin, and I won't have total ownership of the whole thing, and that'll be absolutely amazing, because the whole thing has given me such a freedom, it's given me far more confidence, it's boosted my self-worth, my self-esteem, and it's just the best. Well, next to getting sober, it's probably one of the best things that I've ever done in my life.
But about one young man there who mentioned smart meetings, I thought, fair enough. I looked it up online and I thought, yeah, but more or less corresponds with the way I think about things. I desperately wanted to not drink. I wasn't going to admit a failure of will, that I was hopeless, useless, and I wasn't going to recover unless I got help. I needed something more than just clinging on the end of your seat and hooring it out, as they say in Alcoholics Anonymous in Edinburgh. I knew that wouldn't work for me. But I always knew I was an alcoholic. I knew right from the start. I knew I drank unsafely. I drank drinking on my own. I liked drinking to oblivion. I could get impatient with friends because they drank too slow and would drink an awful lot. I hadn't realised how much harm I did to myself. And I'm still discovering things about myself as a result of being sober. And another thing that I discovered this week is I'm a quiz addict. I've always had addictive things. And I'm a quiz addict. And I've been watching Only Connect, which is for people with peculiarly weird minds. It's a quizzy thing, puzzle solving. And I realised over the last 18 months, I thought they were dumbing it down. I really thought they were dumbing down this programme, because the questions were getting easier. And it only hit me this week, the questions aren't actually getting easier. After 18 months of sobriety, my mind is waking up again. I'm actually enjoying being able to solve complex puzzles. Life's not a bed of roses, I have to say it's not. This knows that I made a suicide attempt last year. I was self-harming for a while, and I'm still hoping these will heal before the summer and the sleeveless frocks and things come out. But I tried to commit suicide by taking pills, but I didn't take alcohol, which is absolutely crucial, because every other suicide attempt involved alcohol. And when I say involved alcohol, I think it was probably because of alcohol. If I hadn't been a heavy drinker at that time of my life, I probably wouldn't have been trying to commit suicide. I'm alive, I'm relatively well, I've got some physical health problems. I love not going home and having a drink at night. I go to my bed, I sit and watch programmes on my tablet, and when I get tired, I put the tablet to sleep and go to bed.
I was going to say, I'm not sure there was a culture of recovery at that time. I hadn't really thought about that before. I mean, a lot of people, I suppose, were maybe surprised or thought, oh, you know, how can you be doing that? Is that not sort of dangerous or risky, or, you know, what are the people like, and everything like that? So there was a lot of, I would say, surprise. There was a lot of curiosity, wanting to find out more about, you know, about what it was like, and what the folks were like that I was actually sort of meeting and spending time with. I think that was, yeah, I think lots of changes, because I mean, at that point, not many people were even talking about recovery. There really wasn't a concept. I mean, bearing in mind that this was just before the onset of HIV/AIDS, so a lot of people were going away to rehab. They had a real hope that things could be better, but recovery was, I think at that time, it was very much, a lot of recovery was very much based in residential services, and it was very much about, there was hardly any sort of community drug projects here in Edinburgh, and it was just about people actually trying to help in any way that they could and respond in any way they could. So now there's much more a concept of recovery and what might be involved in recovery, whereas at that time, you know, that just wasn't there at all. It was people just trying to do, I think, the best that they could in a way, and everybody coming together and just trying to help one another, and things very much growing up from the kind of the grassroots. So there wasn't a big infrastructure like there is now, you know, nowadays. It was all pretty rough and ready, you know.
I was starting to rehabilitate and rebuild my life, you know.
Yeah.
So it was all came at a right time, and I certainly enjoyed the time coming here and sharing some deep hurts and getting reconnected again. Well, Sarah was a great help. Yeah. She was a great, if you call it a shoulder to cry on. Her counselling skills. She could counsel me in spiritual matters. She could counsel me in emotional matters, with a lot of deep hurts that I had, even going way back into my childhood and all that. I got it out and I dealt with it, and I got it out, you know, just sort of with that initial sort of, you know, what my granddad done, you know, just out to sort of try to get his bit of peace, you know, and wee things like that, you know, and you might not think at the time, you know, you speak about them and then the healing comes, you know, it's just things. But challenges is always persevering in recovery, always taking it a day at a time.